Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing this craft resin kit and it is from Daiso Japan, which is a dollar store. So, ta-da! This whole kit was 100 yen, which is about the equivalent of $1 US, give or take some with the exchange rate. But I thought this was super cool. For 100 yen, you get so much. I think some of the Daisos in the States stock these now, but I'm not 100% sure. You'll just have to check for yourself. But I think it's really cool because it has a Japanese and English on here, and the instructions, they have little pictures so you can follow along, and I'm really excited to try this out. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up, maybe, or maybe just break it all. Ta-da! So here are the contents. A little bit of string, 2 bezel bases, and a cell phone strap, and the colors all match, and some jump rings that have already been opened for your convenience. Little Eiffel Tower, a bow or ribbon, a little key, and then some background papers, and some of the design sheets. And these are so fun to use. As it says on the package, you're going to need to provide your own liquid craft resin, pliers, scissors, craft glue, tweezers, and toothpicks. So prepare those if you get this kit. First off, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the shape that I want. I think I'm going to go with the beige one because none of the design sheets really go too well with the polka dot, except maybe that. I guess that could work. I don't know what I want to use, but for this one, oh, the strawberries are cute. I think I'm going to go with this one and the beige one. I only have my huge scissors. I need to get some smaller scissors, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this out as nicely as I can. Here they are. That one got a little lopsided, but I think it'll be okay. I'll cover it up somehow. And the heart one I had to trim quite a bit to make it fit, but I think they'll work just fine. And it said to use some glue underneath these, but I don't like when the paper gets soggy with resin. I've noticed that some crafters here don't really seem to mind that, and that's fine because that's part of their design, but I personally don't really like that much, so I'm going to use Mod Podge, ta-da, and go under and over it. Not totally professional, but I'm using the packaging as a background. I'm using some matte Mod Podge here, but I don't think it really matters, so just dab some on, dab a little bit in here. And the resin's going to seal it down pretty well, so you don't need to go overboard, just make sure it sticks. Here we go. Just pop that in there. I think that's about right. There we go. And I'll go ahead and do the oval one. Once that seems to stick, I'm going to go over the top with another coat of Mod Podge and let it dry. While I wait for the Mod Podge to dry, I'm going to go ahead and cut out the decals that I want. I think I'm going to use the strawberry, I don't know, one of the flowers, whatever will fit, I guess. Maybe the crown, I don't know. I'm going to cut them out, and you need to remember when you're cutting these out that you need to cut pretty close to the design because you feel like it's going to fit because, you know, it's just, you see the colored part fitting, but when you cut it out, you have the extra clear around it and then it doesn't fit, so I've had that happen many times, and it's harder to cut when you only have the tiny piece, so when you're cutting it out, try to cut as close as possible. The Mod Podge has pretty much dried now, so I cut the decals out, and you can see this tray is perfect for them. And you can lay your decals out how you think you want them before you put the resin down, so you can mess around with them a little bit. Ta-da! So I think I'm going to go with something like this, and this design may look a little plain to you, but I'm going to assume that if you're a crafter, you have some sort of glitter, rhinestones, or something that would work as an embellishment. I can't talk. This happens in every video. Anyway, so you can jazz it up however you want. For this video, I'm just going to leave it like this because I just want to try to do it with the basics and see how good I can make it. I'm going to go ahead and pour my UV resin over these pieces and pop them into the UV lamp, which only takes about 2 minutes or so to cure. Now, if you don't have UV resin or UV lamp, you can use 2-part resin, of course, just you're going to have to either prepare a lot of bezels or mix a very, very tiny bit. If you would rather place your decals in the resin after, that works too. I just want to try and avoid air bubbles as much as I can. Here it is back from the UV lamp. Sorry I didn't get to show you after I spread the resin. I noticed that it was starting to seep into the paper here, so I wanted to cure it as quickly as possible. Now, I suppose I could have given this another coat of Mod Podge, and that would have probably been fine, but I just do not like working with paper backgrounds. It's so stressful to me. If you want a good tutorial on how to seal paper stickers, and probably even backgrounds like this, I'm sure it would work for this, you can check out Crafter's Delights, because she is like the resin goddess, and she has awesome tutorials. Anyway, you may notice that this does not have much of a dome yet, and that is because I like to dome my pieces in very thin layers, multiple layers, because I find that if I try to dome it in one go, that either when I'm trying to move my charms to the UV lamp or when they're in the UV lamp, the surface tension breaks and it just overflows all over the place. So that is why I advise doing it in thin layers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and maybe give it 1 or 2 more layers, and then I'll be back to put it together. Ta-da! Here they are. They turned out quite nicely, I would say. And even though the resin did stain the paper a little bit, that was my fault. I could have sealed it better, I'm sure. So if you have a good glue or top coat or Mod Podge, give it more than 1 coat is my suggestion. But I would say this kit is really good, and hold on, we're not done yet. My clumsy fingers, there we go. Ta-da! My final thoughts are that I think this kit is really good for $1. Even though you have to supply your own resin, they also do sell resin at Daiso, the little 5-gram tubes, and I think that would be enough for these 2 charms. So you could get that if your Daiso stocks these. And you know, these bezels, the backgrounds, are really, really nice. You wouldn't necessarily have to use the papers or decals that they included. You could use glitter, pigments, and stickers, or whatever you wanted in here. So I think for 100 yen, this is a really, really good value. There are still even more charms that I didn't use. I don't know which one would go better with them on that. It looks a little big, doesn't it? And you have a whole length of string. And yeah, I think this is a really good kit. So, Daiso, good job. The paper background thing is just me not liking it. There are people that are good at it and people that like it. So let me know what your thoughts are on this kit, and I know that they have other designs too, so I'll go back and see if I can find them. They're always really low on stock for the resin stuff because I think it's so cheap, but I'll see what I can find. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was easy to understand, and I'll be back with more crafting videos. See you guys next time. Bye!